on into the room. Be coachable, teachable, trainable. Post your city and state where you're catching today's live from so that I can see exactly where this value is reaching out in these internet streets. My name is Brand Master Martina Britt Yelverton, and I'm your cash flow queen and founder of the #1 legal tax hack to hire your kids in your own home-based business. So should you choose to do so. And today we're talking about mapping out your customer journey so that you can help them along the path to buy from you, okay? From that first touch point to that ending result or repeating result of purchasing from you, because they now know you, they like you, and they trust you enough to do business with you. So currently, if you're frustrated that people engage with your content but they don't actually buy, then your customer journey is likely the broken aspect of your brand that we need to work on. And today I'm going to teach you how to map out a simple customer journey that moves your audience from first contacting you to repeatedly paying you as a new client, without the confusion or the drop off or the stall out or any of that. That's what we're going to focus on today. So if that is what you need help with, then pay special attention to the three key areas and the three key questions. I'm going to get it right, y'all. 3 key questions that I like to ask at every stage of the journey to increase conversions so that you can actually implement it inside of your own brand. Okay. And if you need more help with this, then understand that we're going to be doing this entire process step by step in a more detailed manner inside of the 5-day Brand You Mastery Challenge. Look below in the description for more information about that. And don't miss your chance to hop on the wait list or join us directly over inside of the challenge. You might want to go ahead and opt in and join the free webinar that happens prior to. It'll give you an overarching or an overview process or an overview understanding of what we're going to cover in the 5-day challenge. But let's jump right into our key points, and that's why most brands lose potential buyers during the journey. How and why does that happen? What that specific customer journey actually is and what it's not, okay? And like I said, I'm going to cover 5 stages of a simple conversion-focused customer journey so that you can understand some of the key components that you should have along the way in your journey, and how to identify the weak spots and align your funnel, your content, and your offers all along the path of the journey. That's pretty much everything that we're going to cover today in about 15 to 20 minutes, and let's hope that we can get it done. So grab your favorite pen and your favorite pad and take notes. And if you happen to be watching this on the replay, you have the option to pause it. Since we are currently live, you have the option to pause it and actually take the notes that you need to take, or maybe even go into your own customer journey, make tweaks, changes, updates, enhancements, and all of that. So if you ever feel like people love your content, however, for some reason they just don't buy, they comment, they may like it, they may share it, but for some reason, when it's time to actually purchase it, nothing happens, right? We want to see if we can help you understand why that's happening, because it usually isn't the audience, it's your customer's journey along the path that you have set up. And so we want to look at that. I want to help you map out a journey that actually will move people into action. And please, at your earliest, when you implement these steps, drop a comment or share or a DM and let us know how this particular teaching or this education or training is working for you. Okay. And so the problem, most brands throw out content without a plan, and that leaves the audience confused. Okay, so if you think about the path that you have come across over the time that you've been catching these lives, the very initial quarter was really geared towards awareness, making people aware of the content of who the Brand Master is, what we do here inside of the agency, how we deliver that content to you, and we were giving you overarching or overview information for what that path would look like along the way, right? And then when we got into the second month, February through March, before we hit the second quarter, we actually were looking more at connecting with you, asking you to engage with the content by the time we hit the second quarter. And now that we're closing out the second quarter, we're actually going through and being even more detailed with the information that we are making you aware of, asking for your feedback, utilizing that feedback to even create more content that answers questions that you're asking, okay? So again, the reason you want to map this out is so you can understand the journey that the customer is going to take so that you can actually be available to answer questions even before they are asked. Okay. Don't throw out content without a plan. Be very intentional. The intentional path that takes someone from stranger to an engaged follower to a loyal buyer and repeat fan, an ambassador for your brand is what you want to have, okay? It's not random. It's not scattershots. It's not inconsistent messaging. It's consistent messaging, repeat messaging, and it's answering the exact problem, pain point, and it's giving people a solution, a result to what they're actually struggling with, okay? So let's talk about the 5 stages of this simple journey that I speak of in a little bit more detailed manner. Grab your pen and pad and let's write these 5 items down. So number 1, you want to write down awareness. How did they first discover you? How did you find the brand master? How did you find this content? How did they find you? Was it via the internet, via social media, a blog, a vlog? Was it a reel? Was it a short? Was it a story? Was it a referrer? Did someone refer them to you? Was it some type of graphics? Was it a webinar? How did they first discover you? That's number 1. Number 2, engagement. How, after they found you, do you keep them engaged? How do you connect with them? How do you converse with them? How exactly does the communication happen once they locate you? Is it just through comments? Is it through the DMs? Do you ask them to share and you give them peeks or tips or discounts or something like that when they share and tag you? Do they tag you? How exactly does the engagement process happen? Are they responding to a DM? Are they responding to an SMS message, responding to an email? How exactly are you engaging with them? Okay. In addition to that, number 3, education. How do you build trust? How do you position yourself as their expert solution? How do you deliver the results to them so that they are now feeling that they are seen, that they are heard, that they have received information and now they are transforming? How exactly do you educate them on what it is that you now know is their problem, and you've made them aware that it's their problem so that they now can implement whatever solution you're providing to them to enhance their brand, to bring in more income, to actually do what it is that they were struggling with before, that now that they got your solution, they're no longer struggling with, okay? How exactly did you educate them? Number 4, in the conversion process, how do you make the offer, or how do you guide them to make the next purchase? So yes, in this microwave society that we currently live in, people are interested in getting some type of proof, some type of result that happens before they actually buy from you. So when they were struggling with, I don't even know where to go or how to acquire a domain, and you gave them the information that showed them why it was important to have a domain, the vast different areas that they could utilize their domain in, how much time it could save them by actually being in control of their digital real estate on these internet streets out here. When you actually took them from that and said, now that you understand why you need a domain, here's what you do with it. If you don't understand everything I've just explained, I do have an a la carte package that you could purchase that will allow me to go in, purchase your domain, set it all up for you, connect it to all of your links, and show you how to use it. And if you ever have questions, of course, you can DM me, and you have my time available now that we are under contract to work together. But in the event that you cannot reach me, I definitely have provided for you additional videos inside of this offer so that you are never without the availability to be empowered and do this yourself. But I'm still here. That is an offer because it gives them a result that they so desperately now understand that they need. And then finally, number 5, loyalty. How do you turn them into repeat buyers and advocates and ambassadors and lighthouse clients that will shout your name from the roof of buildings, from the top of the internet tiers, right? That is number 5. How do you actually take them through these 5 stages of a journey so that they go from being aware of you to being a raving, referring fan? Okay, that is the process you want to look. Do you have these particular things in place? And again, if you don't have them in place and you're not quite sure even how to set this up, again, if you need more help building this, then we'll be doing this step by step in the 5-day Brand You Mastery Challenge so that you can learn to master your brand. So let's move to those 3 questions that I mentioned earlier that you want to ask at every stage along this journey. And that is, what do they know and feel to move to the next step? What is it that they need to know? What is it that they need to feel to be able to move to the next step with you? So if I know the value behind a domain, how do I make you know that you need to secure that in order to move forward with not being able to be in control of where your links are placed? And when the company changes your links, or you decide to change up a different product or service and you want to continue to remain cohesive, how do I make you aware of putting yourself, the personal brand, into every single link that you put out there, because you control those links? No one else controls those links. How do I make you aware of how important that is so that you move to the next step of securing it? Okay. Number 2 question that you want to ask: what content or what system will help you make that step? What is it that, what piece of software, what app, what link, what exactly do you need to be able to now make the next step? And make sure that you provide it for them. And 3rd question is, where are they dropping off and why? Did I not make it clear enough how important it is to have a domain? Did I not make it clear enough how easy it is to secure a domain? Did I not make it clear enough, now that you know why you need it, how to secure it, and how to set it up? Are you still not setting it up? Where is the drop off? Why is that drop off happening? Because if you can answer all 3 of these questions for every single product, service that you have, then you've already answered the question before it's asked, and now you make the process even more seamless for the prospect, the consumer, the client, whoever it is that's going through your process. I hope that makes sense to you. If you've gotten nothing else from this, those 5 and 3, those 8 total things that we just discussed, well, 9 if you think about what it's not, okay? Those 9 things that I've just given you will change the game with regards to your current branding, okay? How would you go about identifying some of the weak spots that you have? We discussed that. We're going to talk about that too. You're going to audit your funnel. You're going to have a look at your content. You're going to see, where are people stalling at? What happens? For me, when I went and began doing an audit on my brand, it felt like sometimes I was talking above people's head with regards to how important it was to secure a domain. And then there was a vast amount of people that understood how important it is to have the domain, but they weren't sure what to do with it next. They weren't sure exactly what format to put it in, what worksheets to put it on, how to position it, how to actually. I don't know what just happened, but we're back. So when I was going through the process of trying to figure out, like I said, where people were falling off, it was either they didn't understand the importance of having the domain, or they didn't understand what to do with the domain after they had it, which let me know I really wasn't doing a complete job taking them through the entire process. So that is one of the ways that you can identify where people are stalling at, by actually going back and doing an audit on your funnel. Okay. Are you nurturing enough before asking for the sale? No. Why? Because people don't realize how much value is available for them on the YouTube channel, because literally I wasn't consistently asking for subscribes. I wasn't asking them to select the alert, and I haven't been emailing or SMSing them, sending them a text message, letting them know the time frame that we are live. But even more valuable than that, a later text message in the evening would ask them, "Hey, did you catch today's replay?" That would be a way of nurturing them to go back and have a look at today's call to see if it was something of importance to them so that they could re-engage, right? And then also, are you making a clear aligned offer? So are you making it clear that even though you have this litany of value, you still may need to opt in and partner with us or join us in the community so you could have more access to ask more questions to get more answers, okay? When you align all of your assets, you map out the existing content for each stage. You actually fill in the gaps where needed, meaning if it's a nurture situation, get those set up. If it's a trust building situation, get those set up. If you don't have your testimonies and your case studies and your proof of all the value that you provided, then you need to get those in order. When you ensure that your messaging is consistent throughout the entire journey, then you won't be able to see drop off, right? Once a customer journey feels seamless, right, you will breathe a sigh of relief, because without this, you're losing potential customers every single day that you aren't making your messaging clear. You're losing potential sales every day that you aren't making the offers. You're losing the valuable time that people give you, because again, we live in a microwave society. You're losing the valuable time that you actually captured their attention if you won't make your messaging clear, simple, and you offer them the opportunity to go further and deeper with you. So I always want to get in some objections that you may be going through when you hear this content, and I pretty much get these because these are some of the questions or the apprehension or the stopping or stalled out point that some of my clients have said that they have experienced along the way. And the number one thing they said, and I said it too, was, "I just don't have time to map out the entire journey." My response to that is, I didn't realize how important it was to do it. You really don't have time not to do it. It is crucially important because, again, you're losing customers every single day that you don't do that. And of course, inside of the challenge, we can help you with that. Another apprehension is, I'm not sure what content belongs at each stage. Well, that's why you map it out, because once you map it out, and you walk through the processes and you see what particular stage an individual is at, then you're available to develop the content for that. So that way you know exactly what it is that they need in this particular area, and you can create it and put it where it fits. So you won't know what belongs where until you actually begin to go through the process of mapping it out. And if you think your business is too small, honestly, this is exactly why and when you want to do it, right? If you wait until you have a larger business and X amount of clients, when will you have the time to go through that customer journey? Because you've had so many customers that came in all kinds of different levels and all kinds of different ways. It's a lot of chaos. And it also doesn't allow you to stick and stay to a blueprint to be able to get the proof that you need, right? When you take the time to map out the journey, this is what will turn that brand into a business that truly banks, all right? And you're the solopreneur. You're growing a team eventually, so should you choose to do that. But in the meantime, your current smaller customer base needs an exact process, an exact step-by-step blueprint for them to be able to follow a journey and get to the intended end. Okay, I hope that makes sense to you guys. So what a customer journey really is, that is the number one thing that we discussed. In recap, I gave you the 5 key stages. I gave you the one thing that was a 3-part series of just what not to do. And that's just, don't be chaotic. Don't be all over the place. Don't be misaligned. Don't be mismessaging. Don't be mixed messaging either. And then I also gave you the 3 questions that you need to ask along each part of the journey to help you understand how to flesh out that plan and how to start mapping it out today. So I want to ask you today's closing question just to see if you guys are plugged in, if you're here, if you're paying attention. I would love to ask you, at what stage of your customer journey do you feel needs the most improvement? Is it in the awareness stage? Is it in the engagement stage? Is it where you're educating and giving them the value? Is it when you're trying to convert them? Or is it when you're asking them to do a repeat buy, a next level, an upsell, or something like that? At what point do you feel you're struggling with, and how can we help you? I'm going to suggest that you actually attend the free webinar that will give you an overview of everything that we're going to break down so that you can see whether or not the 5-day Brand You Mastery Challenge is what you need. That would be the first step, okay? Because if you're unsure or if you're unclear on how to make this make sense to your intended audience, then you want to start at the very beginning and map out the value that your entire project, your entire product, your entire service has, so that you can see any potholes, fill them now before you begin to get on and pack on hundreds of clients, and now you're unable to literally catch up to the problems and fix them, and then the whole shebang just falls apart. We want to help you with that, and we can help you inside of the 5-day Brand You Mastery Challenge. I hope that this information that I've shared with you today has been of value to you. Sorry for the little technical difficulties that it had. I have no earthly idea what happened, but we were here, then we were gone, and then we're back. So I'm hoping you were able to hop back into it, that it didn't shut down too much on your end, that you guys see that we're still here and you've been able to consume this content, and that it actually makes sense. Next week, we're actually going to be discussing literally how to shift from selling to serving, because even though you want them to convert into a sale, you actually are here, as we all are here, to serve others. And that may, for some of you, if your mindset is a little bit programmed to think that selling is sleazy, then maybe you need to reprogram and reframe the way that you're saying that and begin to serve people. Maybe that will be able to help you. So just want to recap on that today and let you know today we were actually discussing mapping your customer journey. If you're just joining us now, then as soon as this live ends, you'll be able to go back and catch the beginning. Definitely comment below if you are struggling in any of the 5 areas that we discussed, so that we can assist you with that. We will be live today and after office hours. We may be mobile today, because I'm looking at the clock now. We may be mobile today, but we will be in there answering your branding, your business questions, things that you may be struggling with inside of your funnels, especially with us discussing how to nurture right now. And if you were unavailable, make sure that you drop the keyword nurture on yesterday's video so that you can get a copy of the template made available, the swipe file made available for you guys. It's a 5-step email sequence to nurture your current audience and re-engage with them in a very, very, very intimate way, so that they can begin to see you, know you, and like you enough to do business with you. Hey y'all, hey, Brandmaster Martina, Britt Yelverton here, giving you the latest update about our daily Get Your Assets in Order and Brand You series. Join me live each and every Tuesday through Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for actionable steps on brand building for beginners, current client revisions, and watch as we level up brands in 2025. We are covering everything from tools, tips, strategies, and systems like Canva, StreamYard, High Level, AI automations, and more. These will take you from confused to confident. So after each live stream, you can hop on Zoom with us to ask your questions and get personalized answers. If I were you, I wouldn't miss out. Mark your calendars and subscribe now to our YouTube channels. Join our free communities, and I'll say it louder for the people in the back. If you want to learn, lead, and level up as a struggling entrepreneur, we have the solution, the systems, and the experts. Our entire team is live each and every weekday at 12 p.m., 1 p.m., and 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so you can lunch and learn. If you snooze, you will lose. I said what I said. You heard what you heard. Now do what you know you need to do to get your assets in order.